Welcome to the Sarah Scoop Show. It's time to get the scoop with Sarah.
Well, I was scrolling through some online stuff and I saw CBS, it said if you're unique or diverse, definitely you want to apply. And like my friends have been telling me this my whole life since I was in elementary school, middle school, all the way on up to high school. They're like, bro, like you should be on TV or doing something. Like I've never seen anybody like you. Well, with them being saying that, I'm Asian, I do the country things, hangs out with my boys, we be riding four wheelers and stuff, and just doing all kind of outdoor stuff. So that's what made me want to join and do that. And plus, I've watched a little bit of Big Brother with one of my ex girlfriends, and she was like, you should be on Big Brother. I could see you definitely doing that show. And that was like a year before I applied. So it was kind of funny because when I applied, I was like, hey, guess what? And she was like, no way. So it's kind of crazy. I'll tell you the first time it was okay, so with me being on two seasons, I would say the first time is kind of like when you go on a road trip, you're excited, you're with all your friends, you're like, hey, let's go hit that Bucky's down the road and some Whataburger. So it was really exciting my first time around. So here, take my cell phone. I don't care about, that and whatever, social media, I don't need it. And I was just going through the experience and I didn't know what to expect, but everything was exciting to me. And I was like, I was so shy and nervous in front of every camera that was in front of me. So I was so awkward the first time, my first season on every camera, I think. So it was a crazy experience, but it was all surreal. So I just took it in my first season. And so, yeah, that's what happened with the first season. And the second season was kind of like, it was kind of like coming back from a road trip. It was just like, you've been through it, you know what's going to happen. Okay, you're going to put the blindfold on me, da da da. So I'm just ready to get in and play the game. So I was very surprised. I mean, because I knew Johnny Mack was a lovable character on there as well. I did not know his diet, and when I got out in his diary room sessions, I watched him, and I was like, this dude's like hilarious. What the heck? Like he was not like this actually on the inside of the house. And then there's just a few other people that I was like, okay, like there's no way they're gonna pick me for it because I mean, I'm just like I felt like when I put Clay and Shelly up and I sent them home, I was like, man, I'm probably sending America's favorite couple out of the house, and I'm probably like the most hated house guest at this point. And I think I even mentioned that on there. I was like, hey, America, like I'm sorry, I'm doing this, but I gotta do what I gotta do. So I think I got some real food. I think I was asking everybody what's good to eat around here because I got, tired of eating those pizzas that we made in the house. And God bless Liz and Julia, man, but they love healthy food, and I'm not a healthy food guy. I eat all that junk food, so I was just wanting to get a big greasy cheeseburger and go out and get some food. So that's what I did, and then go and visited with family, which it was really weird visiting with family and friends because I was like in a culture shock. I was like, oh my God, there's people. And it was just, I don't know how to explain it. It's so weird getting out of that house because I guess you spent, 3 months inside of with them, and that's all you known is those people for hours and hours with no social media, no distractions, nothing. So it's kind of weird. In 17, of course, I went in real strong, and I was just like, I gotta win this. I gotta win this. I had that first time mentality of like, it's like do or die. I gotta do this, and which everybody should play like that. Of course, it's the Big Brother house, and Big Brother fans, they do not like someone that goes in there that doesn't play the game if you have a second shot. So, um, what motivated me is because I felt like I was really close. I would have done maybe one or two things differently on my first season. I could have gotten really far, like that last veto comp that I lost to that ultimately sealed my fate in the Big Brother house. I was like, man, that was like it hurt so bad because I was like, if I would have won that one, I think that I could have gotten really far, if not maybe final two. I don't know. but I ultimately lost it and got sent home. So when I got that call from Robin, and I was driving my truck and I was heading to Oklahoma to go visit my ex girlfriend at the time, and I was just like, when I saw Robin's number pop up, I knew what time it was, and I slammed on the brakes. I probably like, cut three people off to get on the side of the road, and she was like, "Hey, like, I know you want to do this another season, but I got to hear it from your mouth." And I was like, "Yes, Robin, sign me up. Let's do this." So super pumped, excited. Just definitely want another shot at it. 2017, I was very aggressive. Like everybody knew. I don't know what it was, but I think I ate a lot when I got off or something, and I gained a lot of weight and got fluffy or something because season 17 and 18, I was very competitive. 18, I was way laid back. I was just like chilling, like, okay, this is kind of a vacation. Like, I'm in the Big Brother house again, and I feel like the comps were a lot harder. The cast on 17 compared to 18, I feel like we're way more comp beast in 18 than 17. So, um, no offense to Meg, I love Meg to death, but I mean, she wasn't very well known for her comp beast, and a lot of other people weren't as well. A lot of mental players in there, but on season 18, you had like Corey Brooks, you had Paulie, you had Frank, you had all those legends in there that are like strong, and they're all like, go to hit training and stuff all the time, and so it was very hard to win a comp. But then again, at the end of the day, I knew from what Vanessa told me on season 17, and I took that to heart. She was like, James, I'm an analyst, and you have like 33% chance of winning all these endurance comps. So that's the reason why I'm putting you up on the block, because you're a comp threat to me, and your social game is crazy. So um, yes, that's what changed with season 18. I just kind of like had to tone it down, and I felt like a lot of comps that I had to throw, which I did in the beginning, which got Team Unicorn put up with Victor, and he knew that I was trying to throw it, and so that ultimately advanced my game in the early beginning because I told Polly I would throw the competition so he could get the first HOH. So the Big Brother community, as far as an alumni, I feel like everybody keeps up with certain people to a certain extent, but then it's really hard to do that when you're living out of different states across the, United States or something, or from New York or Texas or something. So every once in a while, I'll go in and, we'll text each other, we'll keep in touch. I'm really, I can keep in a lot of touch with people like Elena Davis, because she's in Texas, Kat Dunn, Meg and Mike Malley. They're about to get engaged. They moved down to Texas. So Jason Roy, Clay, Corey. There's every once in a while something will happen. Like Derek called me the other day. I haven't talked to Derek in like 2 years, and well, since season 18, and he reached out to me and he just wanted to I don't know if there's something happened on Twitter. Derek needed my like he needed some advice to make sure that something wasn't said that was out of context. So that was what brought us back together. So yeah. Was actually asked to play for All Stars. I did do a Twitter post on that because I was getting messages like, "Hey, did you get to play? Are you coming? Like, I can't wait to see James on my screen again." Or so I was like, I didn't want to disappoint, and I know people probably would have been like, "Oh, James." When I did that Twitter post, I was like, they're probably going to think that I'm trying to throw them off and say that I want, because I did do that the first two seasons. I was playing it off on my Twitter account like I wasn't going, and it was boom, I was on there. So but third time, yeah, they did contact me around June 2nd. And I was supposed to be on All Stars, but unfortunately, I had a lot of stuff going on in the pipeline, and I just felt like all parties involved. They said stability was you're like, probably you need to go with the stability, and we understand. So I just felt like there would be a lot more opportunities down the road, which I'm kind of watching this cast right now and this season, and I'm kind of low key glad I've not had any buyer's remorse about the decision. So that was my my good thing. I was like, I made that decision, and now it's like there was no like, man, I should have not have made that decision. So I'm happy with it. So the cast that happened this season, I felt like there was a lot, and God bless BB Production, Robin, Rich, and just the whole casting crew because they, I know they had to jump through some hoops to get all this stuff working in the house set up with all the COVID-19 and all the restrictions and all the because at first they were like, hey, we're gonna fly you out this date. And then I get another email and they're like, hey, no, we can't. We gotta wait till COVID-19 clears. We gotta get production in the house, and then we're gonna get you on. So we gotta wait another 2 weeks. And so we waited, and then they're like, oh, wait a minute. Now we got to send you a COVID-19 test kit, and we need you to take this to a doctor and then send it back to us. But you're gonna have to do it in front of us. So it was just ongoing. So I feel like they wanted a more and then I heard the rumors about Derek was supposed to be on, Dan, and some few Josh Martinez, maybe possibly Paul, but a lot of people got cut either because of COVID-19, Casey, a lot of stuff like that. So I don't really know exactly all the elements that went into making his cast, other than it was supposed to be a really great cast at first. But I think as people were dropping off because of this, or some people declined. Brittany Haynes, I think she said she declined. So once people started saying I can't do it for whatever reasons or COVID-19, then they were like, okay, well, who do we pull now? And they kind of went to their B team, or as a football team you got your first string and second string. So I just feel like they kind of started having to pull people because they're like, we need to fill these three slots because it's time crunch. It's like game time, and they needed some people. So I think they got a great bunch of great players in there, but from what I'm seeing on Twitter right now, and this is just my opinion, I think a lot of the BB community is not really happy because of some of the players in there that they played a really strong game in the first season that they had, or maybe they got voted out first and now they went back in, had a second chance, and they're just not performing to what BB thought they would live up to. So a lot of the hype's dying down on that. So we'll see what happens. It is still kind of early in the game, and things change. So I talked to Kat Dunn a little bit about this. I definitely feel like a lot of the strong players, and this happens time and time every season. The strong players always power their way all the way till the end. And it's kind of like luck. You're going to get through most of it, but at the end, it's going to come down to the comp, your social game. And even if you win the whole game, you can do really good and power your way through there, win the comps, be like this master player, and then you can come in second place every time. And not calling any names, I love Paul to death, but that's what happened. I feel like with Paul, shout out, love you, brother. Don't get mad. But yeah, Paul, it happened to him twice. I mean, at least on 18, and Nicole might hate me for this too, and this is the reason why I voted for Paul, even though he voted me out on season 18. And I really thought that, okay, either Paul's going to take me or Nicole's going to take me. Thought I was in a really good spot, but Paul didn't. I still voted for him because I thought he was a better player. I thought that he played really good. Same thing, and that's what I was saying. My guess would be it's going to be some of those players that you really haven't seen do a lot in the beginning. They're kind of your favorite, but they're like, okay, when are they going to start turning up? I feel like a few of those are going to get through. Ian. Well, I was thinking maybe I knew Nicole would probably have a target on her back, just because early on, a lot of people, she was getting a lot of slack from a lot of people. And it sucks because a lot of the baggage gets brought in from the outside from previous seasons. It's not on who she's playing right now, but it's like, hey, did you hear what happened last season? She said this or she said that, and then things get turned all crazy. And so, but I think it's going to be a low key player that's going to win. So I don't really know who yet because it's still early to tell, but it's going to be somebody y'all don't expect. Well, it's changed for the better. Everything since Big Brother has been going great. I've been able to use my platform for a lot of good things. I've been able to do a lot of anti-bullying stuff throughout the nation, which openly caused me to get into political, which, currently I'm running for mayor of Wichita Falls. Right now, I'm in the running race for it. Me and two other guys, which one of the mayor, he's been in office for a while now. He's kind of an older gentleman, but I think the younger generation is in Wichita, they want to see a change. And a lot of people know me because of Big Brother, and that was one of the questions on the poll is why should the community trust you to run this city? And I'm like, hey, trust is a big word and I get it. Like, but it's it's easier to say, hey, I'm gonna do this under pressure. But I'm like, y'all can, if you have some time, go watch Big Brother 17, go watch Big Brother 18. I can't, I was competing for a $500,000. I know y'all talking about corruption and kickbacks, but this is what I won't do, and this is what I will do for $500,000. And it was right there for 3 months, 2 seasons. So you'll know what type of person I am, who I align myself with and how I presented myself in that house. So, and that's kind of hard to fake for 3 months. I mean, you could probably do it, but it's going to be very hard to do it. So, it's helped me there. And it's also with the community and music. I'm a big Red Dirt Texas country fan. And I've been able to reach out to a lot of my favorite artists and, hang out with them, take photos, and, listen to the music, drink a beer with them. So it's been awesome.
Thank you for watching The Sarah Scoop Show. Head to sarahscoop.com for more.